Here are some really common jumping spider problems and some solutions and reasons for them. Hello everyone and welcome back to Spooderpods. I am Dave and today we are looking at common jumping spider problems and some solutions and reasons for them. I have these kind of solutions in multiple videos, but I thought I'd give you a kind of one-stop shop for them because it's a very common question I and a lot of other influencers get asked about this. So I thought I'd make you a nice resource that's easy to find. One of the most common problems people find with their jumping spider is they're very inactive, and there's multiple reasons for this. I've actually got a whole video on it, I'll leave a card for it now, but let's talk about it in this video too. When your jumping spider is inactive, it could simply be because they're full, they've eaten a lot and they're just resting in their web. They could be going to pre-molt, which means they are going to molt soon and they're going to spend a lot of time in that web. Very common for them to sit in there for a very long time due to that. It could be because you're not providing them enough warmth. If they get too chilly, they will tend to just sit there and not do much to conserve energy because they just don't have the heat to do it. Or another common problem is they don't have enough light. If your jumping spider is very inactive and it's not moving around much, maybe they just can't see where they're going and they need a bit more light to kind of convince them it's daytime and it's worth going out to hunt. Another common question that I get asked is, my jumping spider's not eating. The most common reason for this is they're just full. You don't want to overfeed your jumping spider. You want their abdomen and their rump to be approximately the same sort of size. You want them to stay nice and trim, so to speak, but not too skinny. It could also be they're going to pre-molt, or it could simply be there's not enough warmth or light. Those are the most common reasons for most of the problems you'll find. Your jumping spider is very flighty, they're very nervous and they're very reactive to any sort of motion. That's kind of natural for them. They can be predated upon, so they have to be flighty. Certain species are more flighty than others, for example the audaxes in my experience. With this, you just want to get them used to your environment. If they've just come into your house, give them some time to settle, make sure they have places to hide so they can feel comfortable, make sure they've set up their web, and then give them some time. Spend some time around them so they get used to your motions and they can get used to your movements and generally in your environment. And over time, they will get a little less flighty and they'll get a little less stressed with things because they'll know what to expect. When your jumping spider is just spending time in only one area and not moving around much, that could be an enclosure setup problem, but more commonly it's because there's a light source right above them and they're just going to sit under it. They're going to pre-molt again, or they basically just don't have enough warmth, so they don't feel like moving around a lot. You'll find those things tend to be most of the solutions to most of these problems. Your jumping spider spends all their time on the ceiling. Now this is very normal for them. They are arboreal, so they spend most of their time up in trees or on higher plants and leaves. It could be simply your enclosure setup isn't quite right. Maybe there's not enough shelves on there for them. Maybe they haven't found a good location for their web. Maybe they just need a bit more decor or scenery to give them somewhere else to sit on which they feel comfortable on. Because if they're spending all their time on the ceiling, it means that they don't feel like there's anywhere else to sit on, and that's a very common problem. It's also something they do naturally as well. So if you do have a great setup and your jumping spider is doing this, don't panic. Maybe just change things up a little bit, and maybe your jumping spiders just like that and they enjoy it. So those are some very quick fire common problems and solutions. If you have any others, I'll be happy to respond to you in the comments, but in the meantime, take care and see you later.